going on. So if you're ever looking for good music or a concert or any event, I guarantee every night of road on my right hand side is the most expensive car park in Scotland. That's the Cheese Grater. It's like £10 an hour to park in there, so whatever you do, don't go inside there. There's a reason why there's only 3 cars in there at the minute. Must be very nice. And as we go along this street, straight ahead of us is the Smarties Tube. And along the Smarties Tube is the official slogan of Glasgow, which is People Make Glasgow. Now this slogan came about during the 2014 Commonwealth Games, and they put out a survey asking people what their favourite thing about Glasgow was, and 90% of people answered with people. And I couldn't agree more. People do make Glasgow. I do hope if you're visiting Glasgow, or if you are a Glaswegian yourself, you can agree that Glaswegian people are some of the friendliest people in the world. Never be afraid to ask for directions, or if you're lost, never be afraid to ask for help, as there's always going to be a Glaswegian willing to help for all Glaswegians living in the city. I think we're stopping here, Brian, just to let someone down the stairs.
Sally, we getting off here?
No. I'm not sure. Just
I think I'm going to the transport.
Oh, that's the next stop.
But the most reassuring thing you said is that there's still common ground.
That was my favourite stop because there's so much to do here. You can see across the river on the left hand side is the Govan Partick Bridge. And that's one of our newest bridges. It was built last September, and that connects the town of Partick and the town of Govan, which is across the river there. Next to the bridge you can see the Glenlee or tall ship, and next to that is the big grey transport museum and all the old anchors. So they built swings that have ropes attached to them. It's very clever how they've done it up. And I love the tall ship, I'm always in there. About that as we come round. Through the black glass there, you might be able to spot some fairy lights. Now those are the fairy lights of the Showmen exhibit that's currently taking place inside the Riverside Museum. The Showmen are a travellers community, and there's a community of showmen just across the river as well. And the showmen are responsible for all the outdoor fun fairs you'll see. And they're also largely responsible for the Iron Brew Carnival and Festival. So there's a great temporary exhibition about the showman community here in Scotland on at the minute, and I highly recommend looking at that as well. Directly across the river, usually parked outside the site centre. It's been very busy this summer. It's been going up and down the River Clyde all throughout the UK. And the Waverley is the last ever paddleboat steamer in the world. So there's no other paddleboat steamers in the world, that's the only one. And she was built in the 1930s, and she's still kicking about. Again, you can book to go on the Waverley, and you can go on a week-long passage throughout the various rivers in the UK. And that's us at stop number 12 outside the Riverside Museum. That's stop number 12.
That sounds. Thank you.
Places to do it instead, which is why you'll find so many beautiful wall murals throughout Glasgow. These ones on my left will change every single year, so if you visit Glasgow next year, I guarantee these will change. Now if you look to your right hand side, you'll be able to spot the BBC Scotland television studio building. It's that big glass square building with the 2 aerials on top. Now, the BBC is the British version to the Gaelic language. There was also a time when speaking Gaelic could have got you thrown in jail. While it was never officially illegal to speak Gaelic, when we were occupied by men, you were communicating secret battle plans or secret treason against the English army, and so they would throw you in jail as a precaution. And because of those many reasons, the Gaelic language has slowly started to... I've heard of the phrase Cheerio. There's also a cereal brand called Cheerios, but that's where that originates from. And there's a Gaelic school not too far from here, and I believe they also offer Gaelic on Duolingo, so it's definitely more accessible than it was. We're now entering Finnieston. Now Finnieston is part of Glasgow's West End, and the West End is the more affluent, quote-unquote, posh area of the city, and you'll find that the more affluent areas, if you've not lived in a tenement building yourself, you'll definitely have family or friends who have. Now back in the day, this was considered luxury living, even though when you first moved into a tenement building, you would have been sharing a room with 10 people, a toilet with 20 people, and a tap with 30 people. But this was a far cry from the old medieval slum houses that would have existed before these tenement buildings.